Welcome back, everybody. Lost Boys Cypher Circle is back in session. If you didn't know, now you do. This is the show where I bring all kinds of artists, whether you're a poet, a writer, a rapper, a, a musician, a painter, or you just want to come on here and have a cool conversation, or an intellectual conversation and just connect with some other artists. It's a great place for connecting with other artists. It's a great place for being yourself, without any judgment or critique. I mean, there's healthy critique, of course, but no negative bullshit like you get in the comment section of everywhere. But yeah, this is a really healthy, cool environment to come connect with artists, man. So if you want to come share your art and connect with other artists, you can message me on Facebook at Dylan Lawler or email me at lostboy420x@gmail.com. That's Dylan Lawler on Facebook, or lostboy420x@gmail.com. And make sure y'all go follow us on make sure y'all go subscribe and follow us at Lost Boys on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify. Can we keep that up there, please? Thank you. All right. Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, Apple, iTunes, Google, Amazon, iHeart, Pandora, Samsung, and anywhere else you find podcasts. Please go like and comment and subscribe. It really helps. Thank you so much. Also, stay tuned for our kind of our sister show is what I call it. It's called Lost Boys Presents Deep Cuts. It's the show where I bring artists on one-on-one and have a talk with them, and I get to go deeper into their mind and learn how they tick and whatnot, because I get to have them for longer and have a more in-depth conversation with them. So make sure y'all go stay tuned for that. Also, check out our... All right, I got it. Also, check out our show, Lost Boys Presents Lost in the Woods, with me and my friend Brandon over here. It's an outdoor adventure vlog where we go out in the woods with the GoPro and film ourselves fishing or camping or hiking or doing whatever. And yeah, so it's a lot of fun. Make sure y'all go check it out. We put out, I think, only one actual full episode, but a couple like teaser clips as well. So make sure y'all go check that out. And also go check out the extra clips that I've been putting out of this show. I've been trying to clip a few from, because of some technical difficulties, there's only certain shows that I can make clips of at the moment and put them out on YouTube. But I've made a few clips. One of them from, I believe, 2 weeks ago actually has 412 views or something crazy like that. Just a tiny, like, 10-second clip. So apparently y'all like the clips, and I like the clips, so go check out the clips. But don't clip me. That's a callback. Anyway, also you can donate to us on Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal, all the same tag, LostBoy420X. Don't forget the X, like X-Men. If you forget the X, you'll get someone else's cash tag, and we don't want some random stranger getting money. So make sure you don't forget the X. And that's my spiel, basically. But before we get into the show, I do always kind of like to say, because it is a show where we talk about a lot of mental health issues, and because art is a therapy for a lot of us, we sometimes stray into triggering zones and talk about triggering topics. And that's not meant to upset anyone. Like I said, it's just a means of expression for us, because it's our weekly therapy session, like I say. But if anybody is triggered in the slightest, whether it be artist or audience, feel free to click out at any time. No one will fault you in the slightest. Also, kind of piggybacking off of that mental health discussion or mention, this show to me it's about helping other people. It's about reaching out to other people, and giving people the space to come express themselves and know that they can express themselves and can talk about what's going on in their life without feeling judged. because a lot of the time the biggest problem when you feel like you're in a dark place is that you feel like no one fucking understands, and you don't even want to reach out to anybody because you don't think that they want to listen, and you don't think they want to understand, or could understand. And I'm here to tell you, you're dead fucking wrong. There is somebody in your life, whether it be your coworker or a friend or your mom or your dad or your sister or your cat or your dog or me or any of the artists on this show. There are people in your life that give a shit. There are people that care. And I want you to know that. And I want you to reach out to those people and not fucking bury it up and not keep it bottled in. That is fucking unhealthy as shit. So please reach out to the people in your life that are willing to talk to you. Also, if you're looking for professional help, there is, thank you, Brandon, 988 Lifeline Crisis. You can text 988 or go to their website, lifelinecrisis.com, and they have trained professionals on hand to give you some guidance and other resources and stuff like that. There's also betterhelp.com, and they're like a online therapy thing. They hook you up with an online therapist. It's one of the cheapest options out there. I think it takes like 2 days once you get signed up to get hooked up with a therapist. Like I said, they're one of the cheapest options out there. And oh yeah, the other thing that's good about them is they'll, like I said, the hardest thing about feeling like you're in that place is finding someone you actually want to talk to and wants to listen. And if you're not vibing with the therapist that they select for you, they'll switch it out free of cost until you find somebody that you actually vibe with. So I hope some people can find some help there. And let's get on with the show. During the show, if you want to ask us anything, comment on anything, drop some fire emojis, some fire truck emojis to put them out. Anything down in the comments. Comment section is open. Please use it. We will get to your comments. That being said, I would like to welcome our first guest of the night. My computer will let me. I'd like to welcome our first guest of the night, Neela McSwain. She's a regular on this show. She's been one of the most critical, amazing, just fantastic parts of this show, just a bedrock of this show. And it's so great to have her here every time she's here. She's a poet. You can follow her on TikTok at PoetryRose42, on Instagram at PoetryRose1, or on Facebook at Neela McSwain. And I'm going to play her flyer and get her up here. Nope. Here we go. Sorry.
This poem is called This Time by Fire. The volcano is a pool to me. It's what I call my ocean. When it boils, I backstroke, walking through the rubble. The lava that forms is my calming motion. It helps me see straight, so I lay in wake. I'd love to see it in the sky. Viewing it being split the way Moses did it, just to watch the oppressor die. The mountain it's in is what I call home. I love to study its fuel. The fumes I love, it awakes in me and helps me use it as a tool. The prophecy states this time no water, no rainfall will drop. It's what we all know. It's fire and brimstone. That is what we're all taught. Metaphorically, it's the funny thing. I am the sign they call Aries. The only one that is a god whose talent is writing things that are scary. Prophetic tellings from a seed of David, we know what that house was for. It wasn't just the one who was a favored son due to the fact he followed God's war. I'm just a girl who loves God with everything in me. So my hope in this truth, I'm here to expose Jews and build the kingdom everlasting. That poem is called This Time by Fire.
Hey, welcome back.
Oh, that's so funny. All the time I see that, I'm like, what?
See, I sometimes get the same reaction when I it's funny because I have a clip of one of my poems on you, or it's the full poem on YouTube, but every time I pull up my YouTube, it starts playing automatically because that's how I have it set to do, which is great for other people visiting the channel and me getting views because it plays automatically when they go to the channel, which is great. But then when I go to the channel, it's like I can't get my own voice out of my head. It's like, shut up. I'll just mute the computer or turn down the volume of my phone. I'm like, shut the fuck up, Dylan.
Oh, we're where that is so funny. How you been?
I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm excited that I'm still doing this, and I'm excited for season 2, which is in a few weeks. So, yeah, we're gonna be trying to add some new stuff and do some cool stuff. So, it's gonna be cool. Yeah.
Uh, I can't wait.
How how have you been?
I've been wonderful. Yeah. Doing, you see it. I post almost every day on Lost
Oh, I
Boys.
see it. Yeah, you are the most frequent poster in the Lost Boys group. At least 3 pieces a day. It's
That's
like
my
that's yeah. And it's always and I love because it's how it's always so casual. You're just like the caption is always here's one. Here's one. Here you go. Here's one.
I challenge myself every day. I'm like, I'm at least write 3 poems a day. And then I think of a theme to write on. And then that's what I just like. I'm doing a True Blood one. So I'm, doing one about, True Blood characters Russell Edgington, Sookie, and I think I chose Pam. So that's my challenge tonight. So they might post tonight or tomorrow.
Oh, well, I look forward to seeing them. That sounds interesting. You're one of those writers that can like pretty much write about anything, like take any topic and turn it into a poem. Like you did one, I believe we had a conversation about the Joker, and then the next time you came on, you had one called something like it was like how I got these scars or something like that. Yeah,
Cars.
yeah, yeah. I was like, that's fucking fantastic. You're just amazing.
I try.
Um, but is there if there I mean if there's anything I missed or you want to elaborate on or add to or in your interview or just tell the people about you and what you got going on, feel free.
No, I'm a poet. Yeah, that's what I do. I write movies and stuff like that, so I just call myself an artist, but poetry is my main thing because I love writing. Um and yeah, I pick themes. I'm an advocate for schizophrenia, hugely. And yeah, that's really that's it. That's me in a nutshell. Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, I think that again, you're also one of those artists that can not only write about anything, but everything you write about, like it speaks for itself.
Yeah.
And your art really speaks for yourself and your just whole personality and your energy, and that's the best thing about having you on the show is your energy, and that speaks for itself, and just kind of lets everybody know who you are from the jump.
Oh,
And that's what I really like about you. So thank you for being on the show again.
no problem.
um, what's the first piece you're going to be sharing with us tonight?
This one is called Darkness and Beauty.
Darkness and beauty. All right, I'll
I
jot my
got
here.
a speakeasy I told you about, and he
Hmm.
had a theme with darkness and beauty. So yeah, that's how I
Dude,
wrote.
those pictures that you posted of the drinks and the stage and oh, that looked awesome.
It was
That
awesome.
looked awesome. Edgar Allan Poe speakeasy with cocktails, themed cocktails. The themed cocktails were super dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all right. I'll drop myself out of here and let you get to it.
Okay. This poem is called Darkness and Beauty. I prick my finger and blood streams out. Yet I don't sleep until a prince comes to wake me. The prince is he who torments me in pursuit of my soul. Your kindness is a brightness on the earth I must put out. Yet, sir, that brightness you see is actually dark. I've lived many a times. Seeing what light is nowadays is what makes me shine. I am of old, which is a time I always cherish. Love in truth, an ache I die for, over and over again. To feel that moment when all dropped off the face of the earth and I created our world. I stay there, yet invaders come everywhere, claiming to be. Yet I know in truth my consumption is of me. I never knew I loved myself as much as I did, that I created a counterfeit counterpart that only exists in my stories. So that's the beauty. I am not light, I am darkness. So those who play only chase what I made believe. That poem is called Darkness and Beauty.
Ooh, I really like that. I really like that one.
Yeah.
What? I wish I had faster hands so I could write down your lines, though. What was that line you said? Of I have created. I'm trying not to misquote it.
It's okay.
Um,
And I created our world.
no. Now I'm drawing a complete blank.
Uh-oh, it's okay.
I know the word started with C. Now I can't even. Now I can't even.
What is the scene?
I
What
don't
line?
know. This usually doesn't happen to me. I'm drawing a complete blank here. I had it on the tip of my tongue. I was like, "Oh, that's a great line," and then as soon as I went to, it like slipped away. It's like it slipped out of my mind. But just in general, I like the way that you play with words, and the not only just like um, the metaphors and the meanings of words, but also certain like um cadences and you use like alliteration a lot, like where and that's God damn that line. I'm still trying to remember that line. It's messing me up because that line had a lot of it had the alliteration in it is what struck me, um, along with the concept of it. God
Oh, did you
damn, it's,
smoke?
I'm gonna think of it later and it'll come to me. But no, the thing about your pieces is that you have always found a way to show the the correlate correlation between beauty and darkness.
Yeah,
You have that alter persona or whatever that you created, Hathor, or it's based on a Greek god, obviously, but it's your sort of alter ego, and it represents the correlation between the love and the violence, or the darkness and the beauty. And that's something that I love so much about your pieces in general, not just this piece. Which is something I try to do a lot in my pieces, is like show that love and hate, or love and violence, or chaos and beauty aren't so different, and they're these two primal driving forces. um and they make us who we are,
yeah,
and that piece illustrated that beautifully. And I love where you were, the beginning of the piece it felt like some of the most self-love, self-care writing that I've seen. And I love, like, you know me, a lot of my stuff is like self-deprecating, very dark, very, but I love when you can write from a place of self-love and self-care too. And it takes both darkness and beauty to be able to do that. You have to pull from. I was talking a little bit before the show, with one of our other artists, about how what I kind of draw from, and I draw from what's inside. And it's not just all rainbows and whatever, and it's not just all darkness either. They have to balance each other out. And I love that you illustrate that in almost all your pieces, no matter what you're writing about. But yeah, just fantastic piece, fantastic wordplay. I am still searching for that line. I know that it had something to do with you, because it occurred to me it had something to do with you creating that other persona, and whatnot.
yeah.
Fuck. You know what? Just send me the lyrics, and I'll figure it out, because I really want to. It's gonna bother me now. It's gonna
I
bother me.
know. I can tell.
It's gonna get to me. But no, thank you so much for reading that for me and for us. And I'm gonna bring these other artists up to see what they thought of your piece. Um, what did you guys think, Nasira?
Yep, I saw it a little bit different. Um, the darkness and the beauty,
Mm-hmm.
you made the statement that this is the world that you created, the inner world. The inner world is where the beauty is. So that when you have people that are coming around you, this is like, okay, you guys get the darkness because you're not qualified enough to see the beauty.
Mm.
Yeah.
And that's how I see it. That darkness is a shield. That's how
Yep.
I see it. To keep those that people talk about an inner circle and an outer circle. You have the people that you hold close to you, you have them in your inner circle. So they get to bask in the rays of the beauty that you emulate, whereas those in the outer circle, the only thing they see is darkness, and that's fine because it's a controlled darkness. You
Yeah.
see exactly what I want you to see because you can't come in. You're not able to come in. You're not invited to come in. You stay where you are so you can see what you want to see. And those that are within my inner circle are with the beauty, they see what they need to see. And that's how I looked at it.
Yeah. Both still have a shield.
Right.
Mm.
It's a
Yeah.
shield.
Yeah.
I like that. I
Definitely.
really like that.
Yeah. Thank
Uh,
you.
Okay, you're
Tom,
welcome.
Tom, what'd you think?
First of all, I just want to say it was so good. I super enjoyed every moment. I think what I love as well is your cadence. Like the rhythm you bring to what you do is so awesome. I think I'm like coming from more of a hip hop background. Like I'm always hearing like the beat that you're flowing with, and yeah, I love it. Fire.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you so
drop some fire emojis down in the comments for Neela. Yeah, her flow is always just fantastic. She always brings the flow and the rhythm. She I don't know if she's ever written any raps, but I've only ever heard poetry. No, you should try get into your Nicki Minaj. You know your break out that Cardi B side. You
well,
know.
the second piece will be a little bit more raw, but you have to think Goodfellas and Joe Pesci.
Oh, there you go. There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Real,
Anticipation. Love it.
real gangsters.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. That was awesome. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, guys. That being said, we're gonna move on to our next guest of the night, Miss Nasira. She's been on many times before. She is one of our best and one of my favorite artists. And it's always a pleasure and an honor to have her on. And I'm so glad she agreed to do it again. She's an author and a poet. Right now, she's got 6 books out on Amazon that I know of. The Kindra series, which is books 1, 2, and 3, or Kidra, sorry, Kidra books 1, 2, and 3. My Beloved Curse, The Longing, Malady Frankenstein. Uh, eh, there we go. Sorry, my computer just completely glitched out on me. And then she's also got a new one called The Liar, which you can find on draft2digital.com. That's draft, the number 2digital.com. So make sure y'all go check out The Liar. And I think she might be sharing some of that with us tonight. So stay tuned for that. You can follow her on Instagram at Mistress to the Pen, spelt all weird, and I always mess it up, but it's MZSTEZ, the number 2TH, pen. That's on Instagram. And you can follow her on Facebook at the author Nasira Stewart, and on Instagram at Camila Stewart 55. So play your flyer and get her up here. Hopefully I click on the correct flyer. I need glasses. Jesus. Hey, welcome back.
Hi.
How you doing?
I am fantastic. I've had some fantastic news that happened.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, pretty much with my publisher. Um, My publisher is Christine Gray. And most of my books have always been on Amazon. So she decided to go company wide. So now, with her opening up a subscription, instead of us having to have royalty payments told out to us, it'll be a solid check. So everybody takes part of the subscription pool. So once you pay the $12.95 to subscribe to her site, and you start downloading books, let's just say as an example, I get 1 to 15 downloads. Instead of getting a percentage of that, that's $194 in my pocket without out having to be doled out at a percentage. Because the only reason why she had to do that was because of Amazon.
Right.
Now, with her pushing us out to other platforms, instead of being just on Amazon, we're basically going to be everywhere. I'll be on iBooks for Apple, Barnes and Nobles in the Nook, Kobo, just about Digit to Direct. There's some other sites as well. It allows me the opportunity to make more money and have more sales and get myself more out there by being pushed out to different platforms. So that was exciting.
Yeah, yeah, that definitely sounds like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Can we get some clapping emojis? I'm all about the emojis. But no, congratulations. That is fantastic news.
Yeah, it is.
And I can't wait to so was I right? Are you going to be sharing some of the new stuff with us tonight?
Yeah, the second piece I'm going to read you from The Liar.
All right.
Yeah.
Is that on her website, her new website?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Awesome. Awesome.
And Direct to Digital has it as well.
That's okay.
So,
The direct to digital is her,
one of the websites,
new,
one of the platforms. Yeah.
one of the okay. Cool.
Mm-hmm. But if you go to Christine Gray, what is it? It's Christine Gray. What is it? Christine Gray, theauthor.com / Christine Gray presents paranormal romance. That's her website. That's where you can do the subscription so that you can get access, not just my book, but everybody's that's on there. Direct to digital is just one of the sites that you'll be able to catch my book on. Goodreads has my stuff as well. So there's going to be a lot of different platforms when she's done. But this is awesome. This is fantastic.
Yeah. No, that is fantastic. I know that I was very excited when I was able to put my podcast on somewhere else besides just YouTube. And it took a lot of work, and I'm still working on things. But yeah, just congratulations on the money. Congratulations on the audience expansion. Congratulations. I mean, when it comes right down to it, like we make art for ourselves, for therapy, for our audience, for this, to be like our career and have it. But in order for it to be a career and be something that we live off of mentally and spiritually, we have to be able to live off of it financially too.
Mm-hmm.
And so it is always, and the majority of the artists I know are considered non-working artists.
Right.
Where I mean, maybe they have gotten paid for, or they do get paid here and there, but they aren't and I am one of them, aren't considered a working artist, aren't able to live full time or live at all or make any decent income at all from their money. And so from their art, and so whenever I hear that an artist is able to do that, and basically, that's the dream, to be able to bring in an income doing what you love doing.
Right.
That's great. So
Yeah.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you. Your mic went out on me. You kind of went in and out. I didn't hear what you just said. Can you
Oh,
can hear me now, right? There you go.
yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
I was saying, before we get into your piece, if there's anything else you got going on or want to tell us about yourself or anything like that. Um,
I am about to finish. Well, I got another contract, so I have a 3 book deal that's next because The Liar was the last of the 4 book deal that we had. So she signed me up for another 3 book deal. So I have another series coming out that's called Essence of a Moon Eclipse, Part 1 and 2, and then there is one that's called The Sacrifice. A True Heart. Those three will be coming out soon. Um, Sometime later on, I think around October, is when Essence of a Moon Eclipse is going to come out, the first one.
oh, awesome. All right, cool.
So
So,
that's that one. And then I did talk to you about Cindy. I'm just about ready to wrap up book 1 for that one. And so I can go ahead and start on book 2. But yeah, it took a different turn, but it's still the most ghettoest Cinderella story you're ever gonna hear.
yeah, yeah, I remember. I remember. Yeah, that's I can't wait for that. I can't wait for that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's
But
just coming out by it just rolls by itself, and it's been really great. I really like working on it. Yeah, it's like it's got
that's
its own life.
that's the best. That's the best thing is when an artist when a project takes on life of its own,
Hmm.
and just sort of just the characters or the rhyme scheme or the flow or whatever it is, they just take off on their own and do their own thing, and it just writes itself. Um, my favorite, probably one of my favorite pieces I've ever done, but like my favorite piece like that that's ever just like come to me in like just one line after another nonstop and just like it just takes on. Yeah, I don't know if you've heard my speaking to demons piece.
Yeah,
Um, if you but I'll you have heard that one?
I've heard you talk about it.
Oh, okay. I'll send it to you at some point. It's I'm also going to be putting it on YouTube very soon as well. I'm just trying to. I went to record it and I ran into some technical difficulties. I'm trying to sort it out, but yeah, it's one of those. It's it's a piece where I'm like just essentially talking to myself, but it's a piece that for me just had that like it has two characters, myself and then my inner self or whatever, but those characters just kind of went off on their own and just like said, it's a back and forth conversation and like I kind of like to say like I didn't write it, you know what I mean? I
Right.
just channeled it onto the paper. You know what I mean? It was just happening in my head and I just channeled it and it was just like it just kept, you know what I mean? And that's the best kind of project.
Yeah.
And it develops the best work. And the most outstanding work that personally in my experience is I'm at my best when it's just like it's I'm just channeling it and it's just writing itself. So I can't wait to read that. I'm sure it's going to be really really good.
Yeah, it is. It just the first book just seems like you're getting all your characters together. You're putting them in place. Everybody understands who everybody is. It seems like with a little bit of ups and downs, um, you get to hopefully bond with the main characters of the book, and then towards the end and into book 2, that's when all hell breaks loose. And it starts at the end of book 1 and then it just carries over into book 2. So I'm not sure. I know the ending that I have in mind for it. Not necessarily does that mean that that's going to happen, because
Right.
like I
Yeah.
said, I can plot it, I can plan it, but I actually really don't know what's going to happen until I get to the end, and then I'm always amazed at myself. I'm
Hmm.
always like, wow, okay, so that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
And
And those are the
then,
best. That's the best experience as a writer. Like that again that's the dream,
yeah.
to write with not just such efficiency and confidence, but with just such like abandon and escapism that
Mhm.
well, I mean, to me, art is like escapism, and especially when it comes to writing stories or reading stories, it's definitely a means of escapism for me. But when you can just pour yourself, like, you just get lost in it, and it's like you're not even sitting wherever you are right now. You know what I
Right.
mean? You don't register the room around you. You don't register. It's
Mhm.
just this. It's just this
Yes.
piece. It's just this scene or this whatever's happening or whatever. Just and it just absorbs you, and it becomes like a movie in your head, and you're like in the movie.
Right.
Yeah, it's just the best. It's the best feeling.
It's
It's
the
the
best
best
one.
feeling.
It is. When you zone like that, I zone like that all the time. And I love when I'm oblivious to everything around me other than what I'm doing, because that means that I'm truly connected in what I'm writing. But I hear everything. I know I said this before, but it's like when my character's in a restaurant, I hear the mumble conversations of the people around them, the traffic outside the building, waiters coming in and out of the kitchen. I hear the swinging of the kitchen doors. Um, I forget everything else other than what I'm doing. And I call it zoning, because when you zone, everything else is gone. You're just so connected into what you're doing that that's all you know and that's all you see, feel, and hear. And that's the best for me. If I'm not zoning, um, which has never happened, that's why I say I'll never get writer's block because I'll zone. Once I come up with a plot and a plan, I'm in it and I'm gone. And that's how I like it.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I feel exactly the same way, and that's just the best way to write, best feeling in the world. And it's like, they talk about like a hiker's high or a climber's high or
Yeah,
whatever. That's
that's
a writer. That's a writer's high. Like, and and I mean legitimately, like, when I come out of that space, like where it's like, okay, now it's time to go, do something for the kids or the girlfriend or make dinner or go to the store, and it's just like I'll get in that car to go to the store, and I'm like, should I be like, I'm so zoned out right now. Should I be driving? Like, I'm just like, you know what I mean? When I come out, it's hard to. It takes a second to pull myself out of it. Like, it's like waking up from sleep. You know.
yes,
Yeah, yeah. But it's the best feeling. It really is. It
it
really is.
is. It's a
Is
great.
and there's nothing more pure than that. But anyway, what are you going to be sharing with us tonight?
Okay, so today we're
First,
gonna. I thought that we would play a game called "Who or What Am I." So there's three of these, and I'm going to read one, and then everybody gets to guess who it is or what it is.
okay. Yeah.
Sounds
See,
good.
you sent that to me, and I was unsure. Like, I was unsure of quite what you meant in the text, so I was like, I'll just let her take over and do her thing. So, all right. So I did put a thing here that says, "What am I?"
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I'll drop myself out, and then we'll bring everybody up to guess.
Yes.
All right, sounds good.
Okay. So this first one says, "I can put the wet spot in her panties, cause the dick to drip, cause the sun to shine in the darkness, and cause an emotional flip. I can make your heart do somersaults and make drool fall from your lips, bring about daydreams and make you mentally trip. I can cause an obsession and string you out lovely, have you rubbing your legs together and make you never want to be lonely. Have you hunting in the night with a flashlight looking for me, searching out for me in places that are truly unholy. I be what you need when all things are just wrong. They write poetries about me and sing me about in rap songs. I'm as old as time, and war and peace has been bartered in silence behind walls. I'm always welcome, come spring, summer, or fall. Who am I?
Is it drugs? No. All right, Neela, what do you think?
An orgasm.
Okay, all right. That was my second guess, but I only wanted to do one guess. What
We know.
was that your guess, or did you have something else?
No, that was it.
No, I was asking Tom. Was that your guess, Tom, or were you?
I was going that way.
It was my, yeah. Fantastic. That was awesome.
Everything she described can give you an orgasm. So
You nailed it. You nailed it. Put the fucking hammer in the nail right there. That fucking fantastic.
oh, that was beautiful.
All right. All
That was
right.
good. That was good.
What's this next? Oh shit. Wrong.
This next
Jeez.
one.
There
Okay.
we go.
You'll never see me coming, but you'll know it's me when I'm gone. I'm the voice of reason, a lyric and songs. History is full of the places that I've been. I've changed the minds of both women and men. I've given and taken depending on how my name is called. I'm always with you, bringing you heights or watching you fall. I'm either a smile or a curse, or a happy giver or an evil taker or something worse. Some will celebrate me and some will be lost. Some will be blessed by the heavens or headed to hell by their own fault. And then there are those that are Billy badasses who mentally took the dare, who thought they could cut their losses, and knew me and was fully aware that I'd be coming. But at the time, they just didn't fucking care. Who am I?
Tom, you want to have the first guess?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I went a few different ways. I don't know, like maybe like a comeuppance, but then I thought maybe like ambition. I don't know.
Is it revenge?
Close. Close. He's close. He's very close.
All right. I think. All right. Let's see what Neela's got.
Karma.
Yeah.
Oh,
God damn! She's
girl.
on fire.
Are you in the room with me?
Shit, karma. Damn that! Oh, dude, see, that's like, I feel like such an idiot though, because like when you say the answer, it just smacks me in the face like karma.
That's
He said it. Comeuppance. That's it. Karma.
it. He was close. He was very close. He
Yeah.
was very close. He was close. Okay.
Oh, I like that.
All right.
All right. This is the last one for this piece. I can whisper to you. For some, I do it all the time. Some of you will heed my voice and do things because of me and will walk and will think that you have no choice. I'm a friend to no one, and if you truly knew me, you would really run. I slither, I snake, I suck the hell out of fun. I'm as old as time and have always existed. Some can block me out, and some just can't be made to resist me. I will show you that I'm right when others think that it's all wrong, and tell you that I've got your back until you find out that I'm wrong. I can steal your life and bring about destruction. I will lead you down the wrong path like the Pied Piper of Harlem. I am internationally known in both high and low places, and I speak all languages, and I can be seen in many faces. And sooner or later, you'll find out what you heard were all lies. You'll be bewildered and self-disgust, and you'll soon realize that the truth is better, and you have been wrong. We'll no longer listen to the voices of the same old song. Who am I?
Is it the first thing that came to mind was like envy or ambition. I don't know. Is this one drugs?
No.
Okay. All right. Neela, what'd you think?
God.
Nope.
All right. 2 for 3.
yeah, Dylan, I was thinking envy too, man. I was thinking envy or greed.
Vanity?
Nope, not vanity.
Covetousness.
Huh. Or the devil.
Nope. Give up.
Right.
Yeah, I
Yep.
do.
Hatred.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I see that now. I see that. Yeah.
Hatred
Yeah,
lies all the time.
And that's why I was thinking envy too, because like, yeah.
Yeah. Hatred always makes you feel like you're in alignment, that you have a friend, because it gives you the excuse to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
And everybody will tell you what you're thinking or doing is wrong, but you're listening to hatred. And hatred always wants to be heard, and he always wants to be right until you get reason. Reason is hatred's Achilles heel. The minute reason comes into play, he's gone. It's like, okay, I can't string you along no more. Let me find somebody else.
I like that. I like that, and that's actually the. I mean, that could apply to anger in a lot of ways too. I find myself like when I'm super angry, the second like someone explains it to me like logically, or like I think about it logically, it's like, okay, well, it doesn't make sense to be angry right now, or like you know, I you know, the hate doesn't make sense, and the logic, you know, because hate, the main thing that it does for me at least is waste energy, you know. And so logically wasting your energy, it's like letting someone live in your head rent free, you know. You're wasting your money, you're wasting your energy, you know. You're spending your time when you don't have the time to spend on something that is inconsequential and shouldn't matter. And yeah, I really like that. I really like that perspective, and I really like that game. We should do that more on here.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Cool.
They was on it, boy. She was like, "Yeah, okay, I got this."
Well, I said God because everything you were describing is always man's interpretation of what God is. And then when you ended it and said, in truth, I'm something totally different. So I was like, oh, God, you know, because a lot of people follow what man's teaching is versus what God truly is, because nobody knows. That's the mystery of it all. Right. So that's why I said that. So I love that. It's thought provoking. We should do that, Dylan. I love that.
Yes. Yes. Maybe that will be one of the new things we add in season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm working on a few different kind of things like that. Not necessarily games, but you know, activities or I don't want to give too much away, but conversational activities that we can participate in, and that gives me an idea for quite a few new ones. So that's we'll I'll have to message you and we'll come up with some cool stuff.
That'll work.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, that'll work.
Thanks for doing that with us. That was cool. That was really cool. And the wordplay and the flow and just the writing was not compromised at all. I don't know if, hold on. Did you originally write that as a game, or were those 3 separate? You did? That's fantastic, because you didn't compromise.
I have other ones that I've done before.
That's fantastic.
On Facebook, but yeah.
Writing them in that structure without compromising rhyme scheme or you know, verbiage or anything really. That's fantastic. So I did want to give you just props on that.
Thank you.
Yeah. That being said, guys, we're gonna move on to our third and final and newest guest on the show, Mr. Tom Rhymes. He's a poet, rapper, and I guess excessive baker. So if you want any bread or cookies, hit my man up. You can follow him on Instagram at Tom Rhymes. You can subscribe to him on YouTube at Tom Rhymes. And also go check out the Indie YYC Facebook page. From what I understand, they're a community that is just on a mission to help inspire and connect other artists, much like this one. And I've seen that he posted some of his work in there. So make sure y'all go check out that. And I'm going to play his flyer and get him up here. Oh, there you are. Come on. All right. It doesn't want to play. I don't know. It's Hey,
Hey,
man, how you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on the show. Super appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for coming, man.
Pleasure. Thanks for the shout to Indie YYC too. Everybody
Yeah,
check that out. So many good artists.
yeah, absolutely. I saw it. I believe I was either scrolling. I was scrolling on your Facebook page or scrolling just on mine, and we're friends, and it had popped up one of your what you had shared a poem that you had done. I'm not sure how long ago or whatever, and they had commented and they said like it's great to have you back, and yeah, no, I wanted to shout out that community and you being a part of it. And from what I read in the description, they're a lot like this, where they're trying to inspire and connect with other artists. So and I'm always trying to promote people who are trying to do that. So
Hey,
yeah.
that is exactly right. Just trying to support one another and build a better community, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thanks for being part of that community. Thanks for being part of this one. You are officially a Lost Boy now. Part of the Lost Boys group. Hell yeah. Lost Boys Cypher Circle in the house. But yeah, thank you for being on. Anything you want to add or elaborate on, or just tell us about yourself? It's your first time on. So,
Sure, man. So yeah, I used to rap a bit back in the day. So I played in punk bands as a kid, like all the time. I was a guitarist, and even by punk standards, I was like such a bad singer. I just started rapping, and so I got into hip hop. And yeah, me and some pals used to make a few beats and a few tunes and that. And then like life got busy, and I didn't do anything for like damn man forever. And then a couple of years ago, I started writing again. I got two girls; they're a little bit older now, so I got time for a bit of other stuff, and I just started writing poetry. And yeah, I got back into it. Did some poetry slam in Calgary and did a few shows there. And I'm in London, Ontario now, and just trying to find more opportunities to kind of spit a few bars here and there.
that's awesome, man. Well, thank you for having us be that opportunity, or let me give you that opportunity. Yeah, that's awesome, man. I mean, I kind of feel the same way. Is like I don't I've never had quite the musical voice, or like the ear for me. Like I have the ear for what sounds good
Mm,
lyrically and the flow of it and whatnot, but I've never been much of a singer. And so yeah, a lot of my I have written like rock songs or songs that I would sing or whatever, but then like it doesn't sound good. I would have to give it to I would have to be a ghostwriter for a rock band. Like I can't sing it, you know. But yeah, no, I've turned a lot of my rock songs or whatnot into like or taking lines from them and put them into poetry and rap too. So
right
yeah,
on.
but yeah, man, thank you. Thanks for being here, like I said, and just we hope to have you back on again many times. Like I said, you are officially a Lost Boy now. So
Amazing. Glad to hear it.
hell yeah, man. So what's the first thing you're gonna share with us tonight?
So this first piece is called "The Old Man of the Chippy." So in the UK, so I'm from the UK originally, and that's just like a fish and chip shop, right? So in the UK, at the end of the night, if you've had a few beers and you're still hungry, you generally go to the chip shop. Um, so some of my stuff is just still very hip hop, but this I like to just like tell stories, man. And the way I see this, it's like a fairy tale for grown ups. So I still like to rhyme, but it's just a fun story.
All right, cool. Well, I'll drop myself out of here and let you get to it. What's it called?
The Old Man of the Chippy.
Oh, Old Man of the Chippy. Sorry.
Yeah.
There we go. All right.
One night out on the booze with aspirations to seduce the opposite sex. My best peacocking moves only produced indifference, the opposite of sex. Defeated, I awaited in a bus, musing, moderately vexed, when a voice from the corner beckoned me over. I surveyed him judiciously, suspiciously, noting his aroma. It was eye-watering, rendering me almost immediately sober. His beady eyes darted like a rat checking for hazards, or as though chasing misplaced thoughts he had carelessly scattered. In a raggedy suit made of wholly tatters, bespattered with grease marks and fantastical patterns, he had a vagabond's dapper, a Dickensian swagger, and with a haughty manner of inflated grandeur, he cleared his throat and he got straight to the matter. Well, son, it's your lucky day. You have no idea what fortune has come your way. His thick Cockney accent was a thing to be marvelled, like a garbled Dick Van Dyke gargling a cheek full of marbles. From his pockets he emptied an array of treasure, acquired, said he, through death-defying endeavour. Now let's see, what have I got for thee? If you pardon my boldness, do I detect trouble with the ladies? I notice you're conspicuously alone there, sat with your chips and gravy. Now come, son, don't deny it, don't despair. I have solutions for you to try if you dare. I have a potion made from Aphrodite's hair that can make your erudition as debonair as Voltaire and imbue you with such irresistible flair. I raise a hand. Let me stop you there. I've seen you every time I come in, accosting customers with lofty tales, gloss with bluster, but sketchy in details, thinly veiled, pushy hard sales, apocryphal fables, facilitating inflated appraisals of the same shit you lay before me at this very table. But without a flicker of facial betrayal, he calmly continued his basal travails. He smiled with yellow teeth, backy stains housed within his placid face. He lifted his hands and gave a quick laugh. You have a keen eye, son, so on your behalf, I won't bore you with this tourist tat I reserve for the less discerning riff-raff. Then faster than a Shaolin master, swinging a slick staff, he whisked from his pocket a grimy hip flask. When backpacking along the River Hudson out in Poughkeepsie, I once got tipsy with travelling gypsies who infused mixed herb and lavender in whiskey. And though tricky if proportions are just right, one is conferred with a clairvoyant second sight. He jiggled the flask with a glint in his eye. I'd be happy to pour you a splash for the right price. To which I said, no, I'm all right. Very well, but this you can't refuse. And he pulled a handkerchief that looked decidedly used. This I won from the 37th incarnation of the first Jade Emperor in a Guardong basement during a game of Mahjong. It is silk, woven of dragon scales, indelibly strong. Wear it as a pocket square as part of your attire. You can speak the language of dragons and become invulnerable to fire. I said, listen, I'm not going to call you a liar, but I've called an Uber and I think I'm just going to keep an eye out for the driver. Okay, material items can be taken, but can I interest you in knowledge? The one gift that once given can't be forsaken. I know what to do when a magpie gives you its feather. I know 7 ancient words that control the weather. I know the real reason Cain slew Abel. I know a dance that calms earthquakes and makes the ground stable. I know recipes for truth serums and tonics for your immune systems. I've memorized lost scriptures of Buddhism. I zoned out, contemplating why it's better to stay at home before blurting, for fuck's sake, if I give you a tenner, will you leave me alone? Now, son, I won't take money for nothing. I have to give you something. He flicked a glistening object through the air, whistling. Sold up this old thing. In my palm rolled a gold ring. And to shut him up, I put the damn thing on, which is when things went decidedly wrong. I felt the ring grasp me. I couldn't remove it. Too fast to even gasp. This was bad. I just knew it. I felt my spine shiver and crack to a hunch. I saw my skin wither and knuckles grew gnarled with a crunch. In front of my eyes, my whole body sort of shrunk. What have you done? I cried and heard my voice with horror before realizing I had become the old rogue in the corner. The former old man, now youthful and tall, roared with laughter that bounced off the walls. I am free at last. It was my task, you see. It's the way of the world, my supplanted dear chap. Since the beginning of time, drunk people demanded greasy snacks. But no one wants to serve them with their incessant banal chat, risking vomit or violence from these petulant brats. 70 years ago, I came in drunk and the owner tricked me. And I've been indentured through the power of that ring to this chippy. Every 10 years, I have 1 hour to sell it. And anyone who buys it has the curse to inherit. So that's my story. It's the truth of this whole thing. Now, don't suppose I can interest anyone in a gold ring.
God damn, bro. God damn. Yo, fucking Eminem and Ed Sheeran just fucking merged their DNA and fucking they created something new here. That was insanity, man. Like, And the reason I say, and let me back that up though, because the reason I say Eminem is not just because of the fantastic rhyme scheme; it's the storytelling. Well, performing the fantastic rhyme scheme. I'm sure you've heard the song "Stan." He's
Yeah,
very
yeah.
very famous for it. Very famous for his storytelling, and that was so fucking elegantly and expertly done. Just keeping the flow and the pattern and the rhyme scheme. I mean, well, there were multiple rhyme schemes. But you flowed between them seamlessly, just like a true rapper. But told the story. I mean, like you were reading it at a campfire, or just telling it at a campfire, and just it the story sucked me in, and the rhyme scheme just flowed so fucking well. I texted my buddy Caleb, who's um he's a rapper that frequently comes on the show, and I was like, yo, are you seeing this guy? Are you he's usually watching. I was like, yo, are you seeing this guy? This guy is fucking on fire. No,
Brilliant.
dude,
You're too kind, man. I appreciate it.
that was so fantastic. Just it boggles my mind when an artist is able to write it, like I was saying to Nasira, in any kind of very strict structure like that, well, without sacrificing rhyme scheme or flow or pattern or any of that. And keep the structure of what they're trying to do, which in her case was kind of a game, in your case is a story, but um, kept it within that parameters. Well, those parameters, it's hard sometimes when you get like a prompt, because you feel kind of stuck in a box, like you can only go so far, and it's just fantastic when you are able to be themed and also without bounds, and that's just fantastic display of that.
Thank you, man. I super appreciate that. That's my favorite thing about hip hop. I think when rappers do it well, and like you say, you keep it cut right, but you're not sacrificing content. And I, I don't think I always do that, but like when good rappers do, like better than anything.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. That was fucking fantastic, dude. I'm gonna bring them up to see what they think. Neil, what'd you think?
Oh no, I love stuff like that. It was like I always say you never know who you're talking to.
Mhm.
And that's exactly what that whole thing, the whole story was. It was like, I'm an ancient person. You have no idea who you're talking to. I'm also doing this. And then it kind of did the whole devil with the fiddle thing, like, temptation. And then,
Yeah,
like, well, I'm really trying to get rid of this curse. Like, are you buying or what? Am I still going to be this old man with this stupid ass ring? Or, so it was great. It was just the whole,
Yeah,
wave.
I love how you ended it too. It was
Yeah,
anybody want to buy a ring? Like, I got a bridge to sell you. Like, yeah.
thank you.
The Sierra, what'd you think?
I loved it. I mean, the guy was like annoying like Columbo. He kept going on and on and on. And the youngster was not buying it at first, but he was still intrigued. And the more he talked, the more he pretty much groomed him for the setup. And then he found himself changing. I thought that was just fantastic. I really did. I liked it. You had me hooked. It was like, oh no, he's going to do something. I know he's going to do something. He's not going on like this for just nothing. And then he switched him, and I'm like, now he's in the same position that he's in, where he's got so many minutes to sell it, so that he can get back to his own life. I really like that. That's good. That would be a good movie. That really would be.
oh,
It
Like
feels like a
you would put something like that in the anthology series. You know what I'm saying? Where they tell these little small stories. Yes, that would fit. That would
kind of
definitely.
feels like a modern day Rumpelstiltskin.
If that was the
there you
same
go.
thing, yes, yes.
Love it.
There you
Rumpelstiltskin. That would look good on the television anthology series. That would really fit.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Love that.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Fantastic, fantastic piece. We'll catch you again in a few minutes for your next piece. All right, guys, we're gonna come back on to Miss Poetry Rose.
Yeah.
or Hathor or Neela or whatever she decided to call herself that particular day.
You want to
What
talk
was next?
Yeah, well, this one is what's so funny. And I was watching Goodfellas, and it kind of sparked all those. I read another one. There's no crying in baseball. Remember when I read that with Robert Foster? This was a part of it, and I was just thinking of lines where people were pissed off in movies, and so I was like, okay, let's do what's so funny with Goodfellas. That line where he was intimidating. Oh my God, I can't think. Ray Liotta. He was intimidating Ray Liotta and kind of, going for him like, what's so funny? But I kind of mixed it with when he shot the dude in the foot. So that's what this one is. So this one's called What's So Funny.
All right. Draw myself out of here and sorry, get that one out of here and put that up here. Get myself out of here.
All right. This poem is called What's So Funny. You laughing at me? Well, how did I amuse? You playing me out. No, sit. I didn't excuse. Tell me what the fuck I did to make you giggle. Stop staring at the table. It's just my damn pistol. Was it a joke I told or an opinion I didn't agree? You looking a little worried. Just open up and tell me. How did I amuse you as I'm the butt of your joke? I didn't ask for rum or a damn Coke. Why you sitting all bug-eyed? Did I freaking stutter? You the one who fell out, snickering like I'm your lover. You don't know me. I wasn't even talking to you. So why are you laughing like you and my damn crew? Why in the hell were you ear hustling on me? Now you looking real stupid, feeling small like a dummy. Cause I addressed your notion that I was your clown. You better speak up. Soon I'm gonna shoot you down. So what was so fucking funny? Did I lose you? This kid better talk up. Cause first I'm gonna aim at his shoes. So what's so funny? What's so funny is that poem.
I like that. I like that. I mean, there you go. There's some fucking Cardi B vibes for you, or that had like some Rihanna fucking where's my money, bitch vibes to it. Like that. Yeah, there you go. There's some badass bitch vibes for you.
There you go.
I like it. I like it. That was very gangster, very worthy of Goodfellas. Very gangster. We got Cajun here with the fire emojis.
Oh.
And he said he loves seeing familiar faces. I be seeing her stuff. She sees her stuff. Yeah, I can't even talk. He sees your stuff in the group, and it's always great work.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was a fantastic fucking piece and very just badass bitch energy. But again, and I kind of sound like a broken record though, but you, as just like all the other artists, you didn't sacrifice your flow. Every piece that you do has just it is just baked to perfection. It feels like it's really cooked, like you're not putting it half-assed. And you're telling me you write three pieces a day, and I mean, I will be fully honest with you. I don't watch all your videos because you put out a lot of them.
I know. It's okay.
But I at least watch what I make it my mission at least watch one of your videos a day. While you're making your mission to write 3 of them, I'm making it my mission to watch at least one of them. But every piece, and I mean, you're writing it within the span of, maybe minutes, maybe hours or whatever. And it's fantastic and flawless every fucking time. Your flow, your rhyme scheme, just everything. And my favorite thing about that was just the step off bitch energy.
Yeah.
Just we're always and this is actually an Eminem quote. Always remember the magic words. Please, thank you, and step off, bitch. Just
Oh, my favorite song from him is the "I Am Whatever You Say I Am."
yeah.
I love
That is the essence of that song. The essence of that song is
that's my
step
favorite
off,
song from
bitch.
him.
That's the essence of that song.
Yeah.
Within the opening verse, he talks about John someone upside the face and fucking sending them sky high if they fucking come near him while he's eating outside. Like, the essence of that song is "Step Up, Bitch." I love that. It definitely had Eminem vibes to it
Yeah.
too.
When
I
my
like that.
tank is on empty, I'm lifting you 10 feet. I don't care who was there. I was
Yes,
just saw me destroy you. Yeah, I love that.
Oh yes. Oh man, I'm gonna bring Caleb's fucking going off. Yes, yes.
Thank you.
We'll bring these other artists up to see what they thought. Tom, what'd you think?
Man, I love it. So I'm a big battle rap fan. And like you got like proper. That's like a tight battle round right there.
Thank you.
Got the energy. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you.
For
Yeah,
sure.
that took me back to when I first started dyeing my hair.
Mm.
I had a combination color of yellow and dark brown that mixed. Normally, I'm bald headed because I lost my hair. So this is what I call a quick weave that I install on me.
Okay.
And I typically dye it myself. It's called a rainbow. So I use like 3 different colors at once. So this was my first time doing it. And I was in the market and this lady was staring at me. Now I'm from Buffalo, New York, born, raised in Cali, and then Vegas. So while she was staring at me, as I was in the checkout lane at the market, and my granddaughters always say they can't take me nowhere because they never know what's coming out of my mouth because I'm like New York bound at times. And so she just kept staring at me and stared at me. And exactly what you said is exactly what I was thinking in my head the whole time. This woman was staring at me. And the only thing that came out of my mouth is I finally turned to her and I said, "Did you want some customer service? Did you want me to give you some good customer service?" That was the only thing I could think to say, but everything you said, that's what was flowing through the head. My New York was all over the place. And my granddaughter was squeezing my arm because she knew because the woman wouldn't stop looking at me and she knew I was going to say something. She just didn't know what I was going to say. So I just said, "I'll go ahead and be cool because they're here." But I turned and looked at her and said, "You want some customer service? Did you want me to provide you some good customer service? Because you looking at me like you want me to give you some good customer service." And she just frowned up and just went about her business. And my granddaughters are like, "Oh my God, she just missed the bullet." She just missed the bullet. She don't know it. But that is exactly what was going through my head at the time. That was brilliantly done. Brilliantly done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Absolutely. I relate to that, and I relate to that feeling every day. I work customer service. I'm assistant manager at Dollar General, and so it's my job. If a customer is being rude to another cashier, like I'm the one who's gonna come up and handle it and either get them out of the store or handle the problem or whatever. You're not gonna be rude to my employees. You're not gonna be rude to, especially people who just started or fucking girls who are like 19 and it's like their first job out of high school, and you're not going to be rude to these fucking, or an old lady who's literally fucking just trying to get some hours in to fucking, you know what I mean? Like you're not, no. But I'm the one who comes up and handles that shit, and that's the kind of energy I bring. But like, because I'm assistant manager, you also have to be polite, you have to be respectful and whatever. And the main line I get all the time, and it's so funny, is I'm gonna call corporate. I'm just gonna call my response now. I get my phone out of my pocket here. I'll call him for you. We'll get him on speakerphone right now. Let's talk to him. Like you gotta be polite, respectful, but you gotta draw the line, and you can't let people walk all over you and in my opinion, I don't know if I'm not, I don't have like a white knight complex or whatever, but I just believe that it's not okay to witness somebody getting fucking treated poorly and not say something about it either, and not have that kind of energy about it either. That's just who I am.
My favorite thing I learned recently was, the phrase "the customer is always right."
Yeah.
That is not the full phrase. So when it originally was devised, the phrase is "the customer is always right in matters of taste," which means they can buy what the fuck they want, but that is as far as their right goes.
Yes.
Yeah. agree with that. Yeah.
100%.
No. Caleb, I do not assault my customers. Thank you. Thank you. I want everyone to know it is the whole camera, their whole building has cameras, and we are right down the street from the police station. But I have suggested to my boss that we possibly stock tasers or like, mace, or that's I shouldn't mention mace right now.
Put a sign on the door that says corporate
Maybe
doesn't.
batarangs. I have mentioned that so many times. If every employee at every store had a set of batarangs, fucking shrinkage and the amount of break-ins and robberies would go down so much. You see somebody come through the door, you just whip a batarang at his face, and it's done. But that's what we need. No, it's a non-lethal, and it's effective. Or at least it's effective for Batman. I don't know.
Put a sign on the door that says corporate doesn't care. That'll take care of it.
Corporate doesn't.
There you go.
Care.
Oh, call the state house. Corporate doesn't care.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, thank you so much for reading that. And I'm going to bring us on to our next guest. If I swear to God, every time I go to do something, my computer glitches out on me. Oh my God. Nope. There we go. Can you hear me? I'm sorry.
I can hear you.
You're good? Okay. All right. Sorry. All right. What do you have? What is your second piece for us tonight?
This is an excerpt from the book The Liar that's just come out. And this is, I don't want to give away too much, but this man finds himself in unfamiliar territory. He has no clue as to what's going on.
Okay. That's it? That's all you're giving us? Okay.
I don't want to give you. I want to read it, but I don't want to give
All
you
right,
too much.
All right. I'm going to drop myself out of here and let you get to it.
He was thinking to himself, what have I done that was so wrong? He wanted to voice his case, pleaded if you would, but it was clear that it wasn't about to happen. He can agree that this is the time that he should be quiet, very quiet. Even as things were, looking at the three of them, all sitting together around the table in Dana's dining room. A gold goblet that belonged to Dahlia was in the middle of the table. In his mind, they were sitting at the table, smiling and drinking shots. The reality was, yes, they were drinking shots, and yes, they were sitting together around the table. It was Dana's house after all. Smiling? No. These women were pissed off. Terrence loved them, all three of them. Seeing them sitting around the table like the biggest threesome a man could have. What could be better than to have a threesome with three women? Dahlia, he had been with her for 7 years when things began to wane between them. There was no time for conversations, no time to be intimate. He remembered when they would be up under each other all the time. Men didn't like to have women up under them all the time. He couldn't stand that close. They couldn't stand that closeness, but Terrence would. The smell of her body, her skin, the way his body reacted towards her when she was near. Every time Dahlia came close to Terrence, his heart would race. It was unexplainable. But when Dahlia's job made her vice president of marketing for a magazine company and she'd be working for 5 years, their time together seemed far and few than what he was used to. When he was coming home, she was going to bed. Her job was demanding. When she got up, he was gone. Terrence was promoted to sales director, and he was also the sales manager at his job. It meant that he would have to travel a lot. He wanted her to come with him when he traveled. Terrence yearned for her every day that he was away from her. He could send her flowers when he was on his way home as a sign. Dahlia was always waiting for him. They tried to have date nights, but the pressure of his job or something going wrong would cause him to leave her for the sake of the company and fix it, and then come home and stay for the fulfillment of the contract. That just could never seem to make it happen. The sex between them was unimaginable. Terrence was a well endowed man. He could go on for hours, and he always made sure that her needs were being taken care of. He could he would taste her body and commit to every curvature, every mark. She was photographic memory in his mind. He wanted her all the time. He was aroused by the thought of her body. Dahlia did it for him. And then one of the reasons that he was with it was one of the reasons why he was with her. She just want she was just what he wanted and needed and loved just her. Terrence's appetite for sex was insatiable. He needed to be satisfied, was not just what he wanted, but his body demanded it. If he had an addiction, that was it. He had to be satisfied all the time, especially with Dahlia. She's a very beautiful woman, very desirable woman. He looked at her now, 5'9" of thick black hair, green eyes, light brown skin. Her breasts were full and round and soft. Her nipples were dark brown, and they were thick. He loved the way they would stand out for him when she was aroused. Her bottom was medium but round and soft, and he could put his hands on her and guide her up and down on it. And how he loved that she loved to ride him. He loved to watch her lose it when he would push up inside of her, giving her every inch of his thick, hard flesh. How could you not want to be next to all of that? Then there was Trina. She was just meant to fill a void that he was facing. The fact that she was a little more than an hour away from Dahlia made it easy. Vivacious Trina, a little light in the head, he thought about her body made him melt. She was shorter than Dahlia. She had brown hair and dark brown eyes. She was thick in all the right places. He loved being between her thick thighs. She had a taste like no other and a mouth that could suck screws out of a doorknob. He met her at a local coffee house when a car broke down. The gas station was across the street. He was sitting in the window looking at her going off on her car. He watched as she opened the lid of the car and it was smoking. She was beside herself with anger and confusion. She looked up and saw the coffee shop as if she was looking at him. His eyes were full of her as she walked across the street and came in. He even remembered what she was wearing that day. It aroused him to look at her in her shortest of all shorts that the law would allow. She had on ankle strap shoes and a black sheer lace form-fitting crop top. When she turned towards him looking for a seat, her navel was pierced with a diamond. Trina was younger than Dahlia, but she knew she had body, and she knew how to use it. He had to say something to her. The growing hardness of his flesh was demanding it. Excuse me, but I couldn't help but notice sitting here. Do you need help with your car? Oh, thank you for asking. It seems to know when I have money. I fix one thing and then something else goes wrong, and I didn't know what else to do at this time. May I ask if you are taking it to the same mechanic? Yes. He motioned to her to sit down, and she did. He had to lick his lips at the thought of her nipples being in his mouth. He smiled at her. Well, that might be the problem. If he's the same one, he knows you got money. She was looking bewildered, like a damsel in distress, and she was on the road with him and give her the credit card to use while they were on trips for shopping. He refused her nothing, paid her rent on her apartment for 2 years so that she would be stress-free, even bought her a new car. She would be all his. He craved her. He forgot almost about his not being able to satisfy himself with Dahlia. But don't get it wrong, when he did have Dahlia, he was all hers. Nothing distracted him, not even Trina's body, would keep him from enjoying Dahlia. When he was with Trina, it was the same. He made her feel good. Terrence had been with Trina for 5 years now, and then one night she called him. Hey, you coming home after work? I need to talk to you. Sure, I'll come home as soon as I get off work. He wondered what was up. Her voice didn't sound the same. His mind was racing. He thought to himself, did the condom break? Did she miss a pill? Is she late? She's never sounded so mysterious. Unable to concentrate, he got off work early, went right over there after making an excuse with Dahlia. Trina had dinner waiting on him when they got there. While they were eating, he asked her, what did you want to talk to me about? He was hoping that she wasn't about to tell him that she was pregnant. There was one thing that Terrence was careful. Dahlia was the only one that he never wore a condom with. She had his heart, but with Trina, because she was so young and because of his situation, he made sure that they were both protected. He paid for her shots. He wore condoms. Trina cleared her throat. Um, I was watching television and there was a commercial for a school that I'm thinking about going to. He kept eating just a little slower. Really? Yeah. What school? Well, the commercial was talking about school for medical assisting, but I talked to my friend Grace, and she told me that if I was going to go to school for medical assisting, I should just go on to be a nurse. She got up from the table and went to the den. She came back with the information from the college. Here, look at this. I made a meeting with the financial aid department, and I'll start school in the fall. I'm going to be an RN. He looked at her. That was that. To her, he looked happy about it. But to Terrence, this was just a repeat of what he just left. He knew about being a nurse. She was going to need to concentrate in order to pass her exams. And Trina, although she's a good person, you might have to explain things to her in order for her to get it sometimes. He began to get bored. It was it was in her second year in college that he met Dana. Dana, the red-haired, blue-eyed Hellcat from Vegas. Dana was his live porno. He had never dated a woman like her before. He had fantasies about it. He was working on an assignment for one of his contracts. It was a company that was going to open up a small set of offices and rent them out. He went into one of the many local bars down from the strip. He was sulking. He called Dahlia to see if she wanted to fly out and spend some time, but she was on voicemail. He called Trina and had to hear all of what was going on with her classes. He was enthusiastic for her, but he was hard. He wanted to be in her. Sitting alone at the bar, he looked out the window and saw Dana drive up. Dana is a motorcyclist. She loves her bike. She should, after all. She looked good with that brazen long red hair, and she had on a cat suit that zipped up the front. It barely held her ample breast, and when she pulled off her helmet, he almost exploded in his pants. He watched her get off the bike and come into the bar. She sat next to him. Nice bike, she smiled at him. Yeah, I love him.
Okay. Okay. I like that. I like that. That was interesting. Man, mouth that can suck screwdrivers out of a doorknob. That's a wifey for you. That's a wife. I've heard I've heard like baseball through a garden hose or something like that, but I have never heard screwdrivers out of a doorknob. That is a new one. Oh, cheers to you. That was some good. That was some very vivid description. I like that. But I mean, your uh your pieces or I should say excerpts that you read always kind of give me like a way more of a view of your world and the characters than they have any right to in 3 or 4 minutes. And that is says everything to you as a writer. That is fantastic that you're just able to make me draw me in and not only just make me feel and focus and know what's going on and the motivations of one person, but like I mean, there were 3 4 different characters introduced in that 1 4 minute segment, and you kind of learn about all of them, and so fantastic work on writing that, and also fantastic work for picking the excerpt that you would, because that goes into it too, is picking, okay, this is going to give people a good idea of these characters and whatnot. So that was a fantastic excerpt that you picked.
Thank
Great choice. Great choice. And fantastic writing, fantastic world building, fantastic character description. Just fantastic everything. I
you.
loved it. I loved it. And the humor, and the, though, and I had, I believe it was last week. I had an artist on who does a lot of erotic poetry,
Mhm.
and it's something that I don't write a lot of, and there's a few different kinds of poetry that I always comment on, just admiring when an artist can do something that I find it hard to do or am unable to do. especially eroticism, it's very hard to write because something I believe, and I believe it was last week, something we were also talking on that podcast about was that there is a difference between eroticism in writing or whatever, and then just straight up porn. You
Right.
know, there are books that are just straight up porn, and it's a very delicate and a very elegant hand to be able to write it palatably. And I think you did that fantastically. So um,
Yeah, I writing erotically for me is like I write a lot of it. A lot of my novels are what you would call maybe erotic. I don't. To me, it's not erotic to me because for me, it's not sex for sex sake. It's always what you would find two people would do when they're together. So it doesn't go through every instance of the book. Sometimes I'll bring you into the bedroom and close the door so that you know this is going to happen. I'm detailed with it, but I feel that to do it on every single page would really be like porn. So you want to, I do it to make sure that you understand the depth of the connection between the characters. But after that, I kind of phase it out. This one is a little bit different than that because of the situation that's involved with him and the three women and what happens because they actually come together and decide to teach him a lesson, but it's just the way that she does it because what he doesn't know is that Dahlia, his first wife, is a witch and she is definitely going to get back at them because they just found out about each other.
well, hey, don't you said you didn't want to give us
away that much.
you didn't want to give us too much.
I want to give away too much, but that's why they're sitting together. I can tell you that much that they found out about each other, and that's why they have it. But I can't tell you anything else because then I would give it away.
Yeah, no, I look forward to reading that entire story, and yeah, no, that was just fantastically written. We had a comment here from Cage. I don't know if you've met him. He's an artist on the show frequently. He said, "I like the great detail. That piece was great. You always come with something different. It's fantastic work. Good job."
Thank you, Cage. Thank you.
Yeah, and I want to see what these other artists think. Tom, what'd you think?
Yeah, I love it. I think just echoing what you said, man, for like an excerpt, it draws you in, and it's such a sign of like a tight narrative, man. I think as well, like, well, one, you write good sex. That's no other way to say it, but like, there's like, it's a hard thing to do. Lots of people do it poorly, and like for me, that can absolutely kill a novel when people get it wrong. So, yeah, awesome job. And I think what's interesting as well is that, like your protagonist with like the urge, the desire, like he's being unfaithful, and like as a listener in this instance or the reader, like your own moral compass kind of guides you on that, but it's like a strength of writing from another perspective that like the way he describes it is so reasonable, and you're like, yeah, no, he just like, of course he did that, and it's like, no, but why? That's still like not right. And it's anyway, it's just kind of like I think it's in. I always appreciate it when protagonists can kind of I don't know, like just make you like see from a different perspective, or just not be a black and white good bad guy, you know.
Yeah.
Just, it was well done. I appreciated it.
Thank you.
Yeah. It always takes me back. One of my favorite authors, Eric Jerome Dickey. It really gave that type of detail because it makes me want to know his character and why he's a liar. So I'm always thinking about the inner workings of, okay, I get this. Why is he obsessed with this? And then what makes him the liar of this? I love how you said, the erotic, my books aren't erotic, they're not porn and stuff like that. Sometimes I'll maybe take you in the bedroom, but I won't give you the detail because it's desire, it's passion, it's love, it's so much more. So it just, and I can't think of the author, but it was a wifey series. So it reminds me of those books. I'll say that, the Eric Jerome Dickey, those type of books. So it was beautiful. Now I just want to know, why is he a liar?
You know, I want to know that detail. You know, I'd read it just to know that. I don't care. You know, it's like because I'm a mental person. You understand? I always think about the inner workings of the main character. So I'm like, okay, why is he that way? You know, what is it? So yeah, I would definitely read that book. Yeah, definitely.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Welcome.
that was fantastic. Thank you for sharing that with us. That being said, guys, I'm going to bring us to our last guest of the night. Provided we don't have any surprises, I'm not. We might have a surprise guest at the very end. I'm not sure yet, but we'll have to see. But that being said, what do you got for us for your second piece?
So this is like another kind of story. This is like more just based in my life, I guess. It's just called The Breakup. So it's about my ex, who I always feel conflicted about this poem because it's just one facet of a person as a whole. So there's many wonderful things about her. We're friends and we still chat, but this was just like part of our experience. That was why it kind of ended the way it did. So I just always like to kind of throw that out there, that you're just seeing like one facet of a person, and I don't know, I kind of feel, want to give a fair shake,
Yeah, no, I feel you. I understand. All right. Well, this is for all the breakup fans out there. Hold on, let me. Little slow with these titles tonight, but there we go. I'm gonna drop myself out of here and let you get to it.
Sound. I met this girl who was a total extrovert. She'd carry any conversation with no sign of extra work. An easy confidence that dared you not to love her quirks. Life of any party, she'd float through crowds like her feet didn't touch the earth. I've been dating this girl for a few months who loves a night out. I didn't know where she found the energy, but we'd go large till it was bright out. And we had fun, though sometimes she would pass out. I've been living with this girl and her daughter for 2 years, and it's funny how different the view is. I could still see her sparkle, but saw too the slurred words, how the empty glasses at our table were basically all hers. She could hold her shit at tipsy, but at some point a switch tripped, her mask slipped, and she became gripped, and no matter what she put away, she couldn't scratch her itch. I'd release a bitter sigh, the familiar sight of a loss of focus in her eye like a glitch. Those moments, the part of her I loved, ceased to exist, till waking up to sober mornings in a bed often soaked in her piss. And if we saw the bigger problem as it stared at us, we were both prepared to bury it. She'd joke it was a relic of her Irish heritage, honestly inherited. Other times had the air of a preemptive defensiveness, quick to say I've never walked a day in her para kicks. No comparison to growing up with the malice of her parents' marriage. Raised by a violent drunk dad in a broken home that along with harsh words threw sticks and stones in the form of fists that on occasion broke bones. She escaped at 16 but found her dad's clone, a man in his late 20s, cruel and broke with max loans, who only ever felt God's trust on the rolled bills in his nose. He said she was mature for her age, and because she wasn't, she couldn't gauge a groom with predatory ways as the wrong attention, and so she fell prey to his ill intentions before falling pregnant and entrapped in a new world of tensions. I have been living with an alcoholic for 5 years. I became the concubine to chaos. She saw me as the devil when I tried to turn her wine to water. She was wild like the storm's daughter, dancing on the cliff edge of control, twisting pirouettes with the tornado for an aura. Still absorbed in her, she was my favorite form of masochistic torture. No longer held the pen to my story, she became the author. She seemed to take energy from our fights, whilst I became smaller, meek and backing down into corners. She was comprised of equal parts porcelain and reinforced steel, forged by the force of her sheer will. She isolated me from female friends because her ex cheated and she wouldn't let it happen again. She made my world small so that my orbit was more easily controlled by the force of her gravitational pull. Watching her circle the drain with his exhausted arms raised to prevent her fall was the full-time job of a fool. And it's hard to construe that you felt abuse as a 200-pound dude, but consider the truth that few power dynamics are physical at root. The caprice of her unpredictable moods loom large like the moon illuminated by the sum of the sun of my fear. And at some point it just became a waste of my tears when resetting the count on the days she managed without a taste of beer. She was crumbling steadily. We had a low rumble in enmity, drifting in our own rapidly expanding entropy. We would talk deep into the purgatory of those unending twilight hours that exist outside of time. Those ones that coax truth and vulnerabilities that dare not expose themselves in the glare of daytime. She would find a message in a bottle and swear she would get healthy, in a drunk moment of clarity that slashed through her inebriation like silence shattered by profanity. She convinced me she found a deeper cause, but I could smell the vodka seeping through her leaking pores, realized it was just spirits moving her like hands on a Ouija board. When it was over, there was relief, but it took air like the demand emphysema caused. Years later, part of me still feels like I failed her. Thought I was the stable one, but maybe I was propping her up like an enabler. I could have tried harder and somehow saved her. We never called it a problem. And you could call that a lie of omission, but with hindsight, I call it by its proper description. Weekday nights, blackout binging. This girl I once loved suffered with an addiction.
Ooh, god damn, bro. God damn, that was fucking just first of all, flawless writing again, flawless rhyme schemes, and flawless storytelling once again.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Heartbreaking and just very I liked how it was very introspective, not just of yourself of yourself, but you really went into like the details of what made her this way and why she treated you this way, and sort of like you kind of mirrored like how you felt versus how she felt when she got treated that way as a child, and how she mirrored that behavior onto you by proxy. And I've quoted this song many times. It's by Noah Kahan. The line is I'm still learning to forgive my parents for the things their parents did to them. It hits me every time I hear it, but it's very true. We are a product of our environment. We are a product of how we were brought up and how we were raised. I also loved how you shone light on, how it's hard to admit that you felt abused as a 200-pound dude. Guys aren't supposed to, when people think of domestic violence, they think of man on woman, not usually the other way around. And even if it's not physical violence, verbal abuse, it can be just as bad. It can be worse. I mean, sticks and stones, but words really will hurt you. Really, like they cut deeper than any knife. And I just love how you told the story, and it was you gave the entire backstory and really went into it. Wasn't just like a diss track. It wasn't a fuck you, you broke my heart, blah blah blah. It was like it was deep, introspective. It was like and I love how you ended. This woman I once loved, it had an addiction, and that's really what it comes down to. Is it's like, you can be mad and you can, be hateful or whatever, but as we were talking earlier, hate doesn't get you anywhere. Logic gets you farther than hate, and you really went into the logic of, why did this person behave the way she did and treat me the way she did, and really work through the hate with logic, like we were talking about earlier. And I really like that.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Yeah, that was a fantastic piece. I'm going to bring everybody else up to see what they thought. And Mr. KC is in the building. What's up?
What's good, bro? What's good? Oh my God, dude, you got more respect than I do. I see. I recently went through a breakup and I dogged on that bitch. I said I fell in love with a boulder. You know what I mean? Like, God damn, that shit was good. Good job, bro. Y'all was fantastic. Y'all be killing it here, bro. Y'all be killing it.
Oh, yeah.
I felt every last emotion that you were relaying in that piece. I felt the empathy that you had for her. I felt the her playing on that empathy, which made her abuse you more. I felt your give and take, like, oh, I know I need to leave this situation, but I know she has an addiction. Like I went the wave with you. So it was very beautifully written. I really enjoyed that. That was really good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now you're killing me softly over here because I had that. I was married to an alcoholic for 6 years. Was conflicted because I wanted, this was my second marriage. I wanted to be faithful to my vows and my promise to God, but at the same time, this narcissistic idiot was just draining me until I realized that I was allowing him to do it. Once that light switched on, oh, it was over with after that. But you want to, I guess for me, it was more than me trying to do everything that I felt that I moralistically had to do in order to make it work, so that no matter what he did, it was not affecting me. You're talking about being sequestered. Yes, they'll do that because they want you dependent upon them. And that's the narcissist in them, because they want to be able to control not so much as you, but the situation.
Yeah.
Starting arguments just so you have an excuse to go out to drink. You know what I'm saying? And then making sure that you are always there, no matter what.
It's about taking that power back. Yeah.
That's about taking that power. And it took me 6 years before I realized I did not have to go through this. The kids will definitely understand because they were watching everything that's going on.
Yeah.
And it was terrifying for me to leave because I felt that I made this promise that I would be here with you through thick through thin, for better or for worse, because that was the promise that I made.
That's right.
And it didn't dawn on me that this was not on me about God. This was on me about me.
Yeah.
So once I realized that I didn't have to take it, I was out of there. But the funny part about it is 6 years with this idiot, I go file for divorce and find out that neither one of us filed the license at the courthouse.
God damn. God damn. That is a slap in the face right there. That's goddamn. Oh shit.
Cheers, everyone.
Hey, cheers to taking. I just got water right now, but cheers to taking the power back.
Yeah.
Thank you for reading that. Thank you.
Anyway, so that was like a slap in the face. I'm like, you mean I could have been walked out?
Yeah.
Oh, goddamn.
That's funny.
Well, thank you, Tom. We appreciate that. Stick around for the end of the show. We're just going to say thank you again. But it was a pleasure having you and an honor having all of you. And we can't wait to have you on again. My man, Cage, has a surprise for us. You told me you got your fucking wisdom teeth taken out.
Oh my God, bro.
You couldn't spit nothing, but here you are anyway.
You're right.
So what
Dude,
do you got?
That shit. All right. So at first I told I was going to do one called Sounds of Color, but then I got drunk. All right. And now I want to do one called Words. Okay. Right. Because the rhyme schemes are not as intricate, so I'm not hitting my gums so much. And I'm going to be spitting it real slow. Usually it's kind of a faster piece, but it's all right. It's all right. I'm not bleeding anymore. My gums don't hurt, probably because I'm drunk and off painkillers, but I'm chilling. I'm loopy as hell right now. But look, watch.
I'll let you get into some words. Here you go.
Huh. I've got enemies, but none are close to killing me. I've got deformities, but none physically. Mentally impaired, not retarded, just broken by definition. Choking on fumes, these invisible toxins I've boxed in like a plague creates a outburst, a pandemic. I'll reimburse verses till poison courses through veins, drop dead, and put you through hearses, of course. You couldn't know my aggravation, all the pent up annihilation, ready to bust out a 3-course meal of dread. You couldn't understand if you ain't been fed silent words throughout your head. What's been said is said, to prolong the inevitable, to make room for abominable words and twist abnormalities till they're normal, then stumble to find myself but forget where I put it. Screw it. I have the effort to renew it from scratch. Every hole needs a patch. Attach them to match my skin. Nobody can know I leak creativity the same as sins. I'd be hell sent, thrown in a pit where these demons bend what shouldn't be bent. Hit the send button, release hell on earth. Realize the spell under the rock is my incantation, born in quotations. If you leave no stones unturned, then all bones turn flame. I'll watch it burn and turn the ashes to dust to make my potions of lust. Reel you in, then throw you under the bus. Seep pus through wounds. Paste crude soldiers from clay. My army built to keep yours at bay. Get through them, then one day you'll see this evil game my mind plays. Out in the fray, lost strands drift through the wind. Why should I defend a title if I haven't made one to begin with? If my name isn't said, then why should I have to contend what people think in the end? If I pin my problems on the wall, then how do I forget where I stand? If myself isn't me writing the words simply in peace, then how can I make a clear image to those who just want to get lost in the beat? Brain freeze, froze to their seats, contemplating life, heads down in defeat. At their peaks, but broken like freaks that risked leaps, fell and hit dirt, ground bottom at its worst. Course, you wouldn't understand. They're 6 feet in that hearse. Relapse. I've got enemies, but nobody is close to killing me. I'm indefinitely definite, like HD in its contents, but inside, my deformities with impaired circuits run broken wires like circuits. I'm just broken by definition. Don't question, just listen. My feats are extraordinaire. Put me on. Hear music through air.
God, you said it, Brandon. God damn, bro. I've heard that piece before, and I gotta say, I like it slower. It makes me feel it. Just the emotion of it more. It makes me more able to really catch the bars and break them down, and the rhyme scheme and the flow of it all. It just it go that slower cadence really fits that song. Really
does
fits
it really?
that.
All right, bet
Like
because
that. I like that. Yeah.
all right, because I kind of liked it too. I was able to I don't know, my voice is kind of raspy, so I was able to put it in there. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, but it liked it. It worked. It gave it that fucking. I just smoked a pack of cigarettes and fucking played the guitar for an hour like a rock star. You know what I mean? Like that kind of it had that. Like MGK's he just has that rasp.
yeah,
It had that just and it makes you feel like you're sitting in a room full of smoke and you fucking, you know what I mean? You just sitting there with a fucking leather jacket, Brand, and just fucking yeah. No, that had a very fucking especially with the slower cadence, it had a what should I say, smokier vibe.
So this is one of them songs that I wrote while high as hell. So yeah, that works. It works. It works.
Yeah. All right, man. I'm gonna bring everybody else up, see what they thought.
I don't know if this night can get any deeper. It's been a great night. It's really been deep tonight. It really is. Everybody's in the deep. That was great. That was really great.
Rolling in the deep.
Yeah.
I had a little Adele.
Rolling in the deep on one side, killing me softly on the other side.
It's that a roller coaster of emotions.
that was good. That was good. I like that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mate, that was fire. I love one of your bars about finding words under the rock. Your incantation, leave no stone.
My incantation, born, leave no stones unturned. Yeah, yeah.
I was all those bars was just sat over with a stank face.
Hell yeah, bro. Oh yeah, damn straight. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Your buzz, bro. Love it.
You always do a good job, Cage. I was waiting for you to come in. I knew you were coming.
Had to happen. Everybody else was going off. I had to
But
come in here and say
you got
something.
the surprise over. I'm over here like, you
I'm
got the
like,
surprise.
forget
Everybody's like,
the
shut
baby
up, Dylan.
or he's coming on some way, shape, or form. And you always job. It's always wonderful, deep, thought provoking. I liked it slower. I actually did. I loved it slower, and I loved how you kept, words kept coming up,
Mhm.
words kept coming. So I
Yep, yep. That's
yeah,
why I named it. Because it's just a whole bunch. It's just a bunch. Like I don't even know what thought process made me name it words, but it just sounded right.
yeah, perfect. I
Yeah,
understood. Yeah,
fucking this man. I mean, this man's not only a master of like his lyrics and his metaphors and the way he writes his stuff, but of concept. When he sets down to write, like in a concept, he nails it every time. Like and just such an abstract concept. It's just words. You managed to make it like you made an abstract concert. It was a concert, but you made an abstract concept a what what is the opposite of abstract? I'm drawing a blank here, but whatever that is, you
I'm
made it.
drunk. You're asking the wrong
You
person
made
right
it
now.
vivid and I'm losing words here, but you made concrete. How about that? How about that? You
That
made
word,
an
yeah.
abstract. You made an abstract theme concrete, and I love the way you did it. Yeah, and like she was saying, incorporated words into words with
yeah,
words.
With word.
It's a whole. It's a whole word bash.
Oh yeah,
Yo,
man. I
thanks for popping
appreciate
on.
y'all.
Thanks for popping on. I appreciate it. All
Oh,
right, guys. Oh, sorry, bro. Yeah, always love you, bro. All right. That being said, guys, I'm gonna get us out of here with one piece. I decided what I was gonna. I hadn't decided up until now what I was gonna do. But I think I'm just gonna do "Speaking of Demons." Seeing as I just found out Nasira hasn't heard it, and I've mentioned it at least 3 times tonight, and in every other episode. So Anyway, this is "Speaking of Demons." Listen up, Dylan. I'm talking to you. It's 3 in the morning and it's dark in our room. Go put on your coat and put on your shoes. Pull up our hood now. Let's walk in the moon. I don't know where we're going, but we'll get there real soon. You told me to sleep, but I'm just not in the mood. You're not in the mood? You got attitude? Well, I basically ruined my life because of you. Always stuck in the dark with no light because of you. So I'm trapped with no sight and I can't ever move because it feels like you're holding me down while I'm bleeding so you can just feed from my wounds. Me feeding on you? Nah, it's the opposite, dude. You're constantly feeding on demons and darkness to bring out the artist in you. Then you have the balls to blame all the trauma for bothering you? Be honest, you live for the drama. Why else would you let yourself argue with you? I live for the drama. Well, that might be true, but you're keeping us spinning and stuck in this loop. You let the hate drive the things that we do. That's why we can't forget all the things we've been through. And well, I've got your attention and we're spitting the truth. Why don't I just mention that you're who's to blame for the drugs and the booze? Tell me again? I don't follow. I made you pick up the bottle? I made you tip it back, sip it, and swallow? Don't give me that shit, bitch. We all know. You're addicted to shit, and since you were a kid, you've been trying to fill it because your soul is so empty and hollow. It's empty of all the ones you pushed away because you keep us consumed by this anger and hate. And I'm so dazed and confused as of late because when we look at our girl, she just looks away, and our sister, she'll barely ever speak to our face. So look in the mirror and see what you made. You made up our bed, and we can't go to sleep. See what I made? We did this together. I'm part of you, so you're not any better. Don't you dare try to blame me for the fact that your life has been splitting apart. I did what it took to get us this far. I fueled the passion in all of the bars and showed all of them who we really are. Now you're trying to tell me I took it too far and the things that you think are just getting too dark? Well, answer me this. What are you going to do when the demons are gone? Because no one wants to see happy. They want all the scars. They want you to show them the cracks in your heart. You're not Eminem and you're not fucking Tom. Can you really handle this shit when the pressure is on? when the pressure's on, it's on all the time. That's how I know that that's how I know that I'm one of a kind, because it made me a diamond and I'm gonna shine. I don't want to be Marshall McDonald. I know all their rhymes. I could spit you a cover of some bars that are mine, but I need to uncover the stuff that's behind the mental imbalance I feel in my mind. It's why I picked up a pen at just 9, channeled those feelings and started to write. It's why all of my dreams are now finally in sight. So I guess I did need the darkness to get to the light. There you go, Dylan. You finally admit it. You channel me every time that you're spitting. Even the parts that you spit in this song, you know it's my voice that's in there all along. So tell him I'm the reason you're not sleeping at night. I can see that you blame me, so tell him I'm evil and ruined your life. You can look in the mirror and get sick at the sight, but you know that you need me to reach the new heights, and that's the reason your demons are winning the fight. So just deal with the fact that you're nothing without us, all right? And that's just a sneak peek of the things my demons all say when they're speaking to me. And as you can see, my demons and me, we don't always agree. They take all the credit for what I've achieved and make me feel helpless and weak at the knees. So sometimes it's harder to stay on my feet while I'm fighting this darkness like an evil disease. But it'd be a lie if I said it's not just what I need to master my craft and succeed at my dreams. So till the day I can't breathe, go blind and can't read, or the ink in my pen will no longer bleed, I guess I'll just keep on speaking to these. And that is speaking to demons. What did you all think?
Oh boy.
It's so good.
Oh.
You keep like your flow, you keep like a really tight like triplet, and you got it just like truss on, mate, and that's like real hard to do. And your multis in there as well, like fire, son.
Thank you.
Yeah, know my story. Like I'm schizophrenic, so you write that is it's schizophrenia in a nutshell. That's exactly what it is. No matter what, you're always wrong, and no matter what, they'll take credit for anything you do when you hear this stuff. So I mean, that's that piece was beautiful. It's beautiful.
That's
Love
also
Yeah.
sorry. That's also why I like that song, because I'm schizophrenic, right? So I understand the whole fucking how you're. And I've already heard this piece before, so like but he delivers it so good. It's fantastic. It's a very good example of how schizophrenia could be.
Yeah. Like you hit it, dude.
Personality disorder of emotions. That is exactly what that is. It's like everybody has that voice. It's just that I don't know. For me, I'm like Walter Mitty 24/7, all the time. It's Walter Mitty. I can just look at something and I can make a movie out of that, or I can make a book out of that. And the antagonism of my own mind converses like that. And it's weird because I thought I was the only one that did that.
Inner monologue be crazy.
You got to have a little bit of that when you are an artist, when you are a writer, when you are a poet, because you are always. I tell people in my group that as a writer, we are our worst critics because we are never going to be satisfied.
Yeah.
Never. Never.
It's just, trying to keep from falling to the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And you're constantly conversing with yourself. I'm constantly intermingling with the personalities that I have when it comes to talking myself out of doing certain things. It's that yin and that yang inside your emotions that you speak to. And I think that was just adequately said. That's exactly what we go through on a day-to-day basis. People don't like to admit that they have that Jiminy Cricket side and that demon side, but you do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You vocally speak it or not, you do, because that's your conscience talking to you. That is the what I call the hidden superpower that you have, that will take credit for everything that you're doing, that will get you through. Because sometimes being nice ain't it. Sometimes you have to put him out there so that you can get the job done.
Mm-hmm. And that really at the end of the day was the kind of the whole point of the piece is, that there's, I need the id, the darkness, the inner demon, the whatever it is. Oftentimes I need that to be successful. I use it as fuel. I use it as, I mentioned Eminem in that song, And he's one of the greatest examples of that with the Slim Shady. And there's no Eminem without Slim Shady. I mean, he was originally Eminem before he created Slim Shady, and Slim Shady is what actually got popular because people, and like I said in the song, they don't want the happy things, you know. They want the scars. They want you want me to show you the cracks in my heart, like, you know what I mean. They want, you know what I mean. And so using that darkness to fuel what you're doing is often the for me at least the creates some of the best art. And I obviously, you know, and you can probably hear it in my hear that I'm heavily influenced by Eminem, and that's one of the biggest things that I uh, have inherited or draw from, that inspires me is his alter ego, and how he plays with that, with the story, not only the storytelling of his alter ego, and just everything about it. And it's just always been a really interesting concept to me. And I'm like just really happy I got to make a song about it.
Yeah. It's funny because you always tell me about the whole Hathor thing, and that's literally just like what my poetry is. When I got hit with schizophrenia, that was artist's name was Hathor, and she's the goddess of love and war. And when it got to the point where I got depressed and stuff like that, that's when I changed it to Poetry Rose. But the root of me and who I am, and it comes out naturally in my poetry, is love and war. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, like I was saying, I've always just, that's been my kind of niche, or my whatever, is just finding, you know, the correlation between the chaos, you know, the darkness and the beauty, the chaos and the light and whatnot. And just so I that's why I love your poetry too so much, is because I connect with it and its themes. But thank you guys for listening. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for coming here. It was an honor and a privilege to listen to all of you guys' stuff. And we can't wait to have you guys back on again very, very soon. Message me as soon as I have an open date. You guys are in. Doesn't matter. As soon as I have an open date, you guys are in. Let me know. Text me on Facebook. Also, everybody else who would like to come on the show, make sure y'all message me on Facebook at Dylan Lawler or lostboy420x@gmail.com, and make sure y'all go subscribe to us on all the platforms. All the podcast platforms and some of the social media platforms. We're working on Instagram and Twitter and that kind of thing. But for now, you can go Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Amazon, Audible, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Samsung Podcasts, and anywhere else you find your podcast. Make sure y'all go tune in, subscribe, like, check out our Lost Boys Deep Cuts. Tune in for more of those. Check out our Lost in the Woods with me and Brandon, and stay tuned for more of those. If you're feeling generous, you can donate to us. And other than that, have a great night, guys. Thank y'all for coming out. Peace out.